So in the hopes of finding a dinosaur cartoon that's watchable, I'm going to take a look at one of the most infamous dinosaur shows ever. Dino-Riders. Also known as Dinosaurs with Frickin' Laser Guns! Dino-Riders was a toy line created by Tyco Toys in 1988. It was a series of armored dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures with guns. Need I say more? This is one of the greatest concepts ever conceived by man. I should also mention that not too long ago, Fisher-Price came out with a similar toy line. Albeit with a more kid-friendly design, but it's living proof that good ideas never die. And just as it was with about every toy line in the 80s, it got a tie-in TV show. Just like the RoboCop cartoon, it was produced by Marvel and only lasted for a short run. 14 episodes to be exact. It briefly aired on TV and only a few tapes of it were released in the US. Europe got more, but the show has yet to see a DVD release. Well, how can that be? This is one of the coolest ideas ever! Why couldn't it at least get a DVD release? Well, let's find out. Here's Dino-Riders. So the story, and yes, this has a story, is that alien invaders called the Rulons forced a group of peaceful humans called Valorians from their home world of planet whatever. They use a time crystal thingy to try and escape, but the Rulons manage to follow them, and they both crash land on prehistoric Earth. And they immediately start recruiting dinosaurs and armoring them up to go to war with each other. Yeah, 'cause that's the first thing you do, right? Shouldn't you guys be trying to get home or something? Prehistoric Earth isn't the best place to move to. Extinction can happen at any moment. Well, you know what? If they're not wasting any time with this, then neither will I. Let's skip to the good parts. Who's ready for a little catharsis? Yeah, get him! Get him! I don't even care who wins! This is the best thing ever! Woo! I love 80s cartoons. Oh, right. There's still more show to talk about. Jeez, I almost forgot that there are people in this show. The Valorians are like a race of peaceful superhumans. They have healing abilities and psychic powers, which is how they tamed the dinosaurs.
We mean you no harm, my huge friend.
You might say it's a bit unfair dragging these innocent creatures into a war, but I guess it's okay, since they asked nicely. Better than the Rulons, at least. They use these dinosaur-sized mind control helmets called brain boxes that they just happen to have. Their leader is... Really? This is our Skeletor for the series? I shouldn't say that. Comparing him to Skeletor isn't fair. At least Skeletor had a cool design. This is Krulos, leader of the Rulons. He's a frogman in a spacesuit. Where's Bucky O'Hare when you need him? Not too much to say about the rest of the bad guys. They consist of several groups. Each are a different animal, like cobras, crocodiles, and ants. Yeah, they have ant people. Even more baffling is how many sea creatures there are. This guy that I thought was a starfish for a second is actually a stingray. And there are shark guys, too. Are they breathing air? They established that Krulos can't survive outside his spacesuit or he'll dry out or something. So, don't the shark guys need to breathe water? Screw it. More dinosaur fights! You know, in terms of design, I think they spend too much time on the dinos. The Valorians look like a thrift store threw up. The leader with the Prince Adam haircut has leather cowboy chaps on his future clothes. The rest of them have like headbands and shoulder pads for no reason. And there's this one guy who's like a cyborg shaman. I don't know. Also the names. The leader guy is named Questar, which is one of the most made-up names I've ever heard. There's this old guy who's blind, and of course that means he has heightened fighting abilities. I was hoping he'd be like Linkso from Thundercats, but sadly we don't see him too much throughout the show. But anyway, his name is Mind's Eye. Spelled like this. Yup. There's a kid character because there's always one. His name is, are you ready for this? Lad. That's right, the lad is named Lad. My God, that's genius! This calls for more dinosaur laser fights! It makes everything better. There's another character on the show named Young Star. I hate Young Star. He's an egotistical, headstrong upstart. If he's not making an ass of himself, then he's hitting on Serena, the only female on the planet apparently.
Well, there are some advantages to having a dinosaur shortage.
Oh? And what's that?
It's a great opportunity to get closer.
Just take us home, Dino-Rider.
The only good thing about him is the enjoyment I get seeing bad stuff happen to him. And it does. Quite often.
We haven't completed stress testing those new saddles, Young Star!
Ah, don't be such a wet blanket, Arrow. I could stay up here all day. Whoa! Oh!
Gonna need to see more of that.
Young Star, behind you!
That'll never get old. There's Gunner, the gruff military guy. I kinda like him. There's also a guy named Turret. With a name like that, you'd think he'd be a weapons expert or a marksman or even an engineer, but it turns out he's a scientist or something. So, not sure why he's named Turret. However, he's probably the most likable character. He goes through a short arc where he lacks in confidence and felt useless to the rest of the team, but then he ended up saving the day. I like him. He's a regular Skywalker. But if you want to talk dumb names and design, wait till you see this. Among the Valorians, there's a group of combat experts called the Commandos. One of them is an aerial expert that flies around on a kite thingy. Pretty sure that wouldn't work. Also, his name is Glide. Yeah, stupid, I know, but the award for biggest WTF character goes to the demolitions expert, Bomba. The bomb guy is named Bomba. Dinosaur shooting. If you thought that was stupid, wait till you see his uniform. What the hell is that? What's with the oven mitts? He looks like he's about to make pies out of uranium. Speaking of ill-conceived designs, how about those dinosaurs and their weapons? Why does the control center of this one look like a 70s egg chair? Oh yeah, and that looks safe. Then there's this.
But do you notice anything special about this creature?
No, can't say that we do.
Good. Otherwise, he'd be out of a job. Okay, Tag, show your stuff. Surprise is the key to victory.
Are they using that poor dinosaur as a meat shield? Now that I think about it, there's a lot of animal abuse in this show. I know they're just dinosaurs, but still, not cool. In terms of voice actors, they actually have a pretty good cast. Like Dan Gilvezan.
We've only one chance for escape. Turret, prepare for space-time energy projection.
Peter Cullen.
Dinosaurs, machines I can handle. But those big bruisers are too blasted unpredictable.
Charlie Adler.
You've come a long way to die, youngster!
Rob Paulson.
Chameleon calling commandos. The Rulon patrol is moving out.
And Frank Welker, who of course voices Krulos.
The Valorians are still within range.
Don't let them escape.
Why, hello there, Dr. Claw.
The sooner I destroy Metro City, the sooner the world will recognize the power of MAD.
One of the neat things about this show is the wide variety of dinosaurs they use. Even many that look similar, but they identify them by their proper name.
My Triceratops versus your Torosaurus.
Of course, it's not entirely accurate, as many of these dinosaurs shouldn't exist in the same time period, but it does show that some effort went into this. Also, it's nice to see a dinosaur cartoon where the dinosaurs aren't made into anthropomorphic smartasses, or even talk for that matter. Instead, they're just, you know, dinosaurs. With lasers. What I find funny about this show is how they seem to have set up what at first seems like a complex storyline. The Valorians are a peaceful race who were forced into war, but their peaceful ways means that they lack aggression. To most of them, the war isn't as important as trying to rebuild their culture, and the show actually touches on this a few times.
You've got to take the battle to him, and when you've beaten him, well, then you can build your civilization in peace.
Probably the best part of the show is when Krulos breaks his dumb spacesuit and is left for dead, but Serena finds him and debates whether or not she should save him, which she does. Of course, this is all overshadowed by, well, you know. One of the strangest things about the show is that there's a holiday special. Now, it's normal for a show to do a holiday special, but usually for one of the major holidays, like Halloween or Christmas. Dino-Riders has a Thanksgiving special. Yeah, this race of people from another planet apparently celebrate Thanksgiving, a holiday primarily celebrated in North America.
Happy Thanksgiving, Dino-Riders.
Happy Thanksgiving!
And we thought He-Man celebrating Christmas was far-fetched. What's even stranger is that in this episode, episode 9, we finally learn about the Valorians and how the Rulons invaded. We also learn that the brain boxes are how they enslave civilizations, making the Rulons kind of terrifying. But again, overshadowed. In the final episode, the time crystal thingy sends the commandos forward in time to the Ice Age, where they recruit some more prehistoric animals and even make friends with primitive man. Again, points for attempting accuracy by keeping man separate from dinosaurs, but then they go back to their time with all the Ice Age creatures and one of the cavemen. You know, for a supposedly intelligent society, they sure are messing with the timeline quite a bit. Could you imagine archaeologists digging up not only the remains of all these creatures that shouldn't have existed together, but all the junk these guys have been leaving behind? It'd blow their minds. Let me just say that of all the dinosaur shows I've seen, and not just the ones I've reviewed, this one is by far the most entertaining. Every episode is guaranteed at least one dinosaur fight, and it is glorious. For a while. The rest of the show is kinda lame, actually. It tries to be something more than it is, and it just falls flat. You can't show me something like this and expect me to take any of it seriously. Sitting through all this nonsense just waiting for the good parts is tiresome. It might have been excusable if it stopped after one episode or was just a short movie, but I actually found myself getting bored. Yeah, a show about guys riding dinosaurs with lasers actually got boring. How does that even happen? One of the reasons I started doing this show was because I wanted to see if all the shows I grew up watching could be more than just overblown toy commercials. I have found a few that stood out, but sadly, Dino-Riders is not one of them. You had one job, Dino-Riders, and that was to take the greatest concept ever and not make it suck. And you screwed it up. And you know what? I'm sick of all these dinosaur shows failing on me all the time. So we're gonna forget dinosaurs for a while. Next time, we're looking at a show that had an insane premise and knew how to do it right.
Oh yeah, it's
catch you next time, Gadget. Next time.